Okay, so yesterday we stopped on here on option menu and contextual menu. We didn't see the implementation part for this one. So before we go into implement the implementation for this one, I will go a very quick recap on this so that we continue on the implementation. Here, option menu we use in our app bar so that when you want to apply some setting related things, so we use option menu here, and it will appear at the right corner of your app, and it's used to navigate to other activity, also something that you need to edit editing related app setting. So to add option menu in your app, there are a bunch of about 3 to 4 steps. The first one, you create an XML menu resource in your menu folder, and once you create the item that you want to appear in your option menu, you create an onCreate option menu method inside your activity so that you inflate that specific menu in your activity. And if you want to have an onClick handler in your items that you created in your menu, you have to define this option item selected method inside your activity. Then finally, you handle that specific onClick method by creating a method to handle each click. So the first thing is to create the menu resource file inside the menu directory. And once you created that, you create an item of list so that you can display in your app bar. Here, for example, you do have 2 items, setting and favorite. And once you create this resource file, and the next thing is to create an onCreate option menu so that you inflate that specific menu with your activity. And then once you're done with this, the next one is to override an option item select menu. So this one will help us to identify each item where clicked so that you can implement your own method, or so you can continue with the post message. So before we go into contextual menu, let's go for the implementation file for this option menu. So let's open my Untitled Studio. Okay, can you see this screen? This was the place where we stopped yesterday, and I can run it and see where we stopped yesterday. So can you see this both screen, the Android Studio and the AVD emulator? Please type 1 and we will continue the implementation part for this option menu. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is to create the option menu folder. We already did this one yesterday. So if you don't, you just go to in your resource directory and you click new, and you just create the Android resource directory here. And so that it will allow us to select what kind of directory name you want. So you have a bunch of options here. You just select the menu, and it will create the menu folder for us. Once we create the menu folder, just go to menu directory and right click and new, and you select the menu resource file here. And you can name whatever the name you want. You just say, let's say option menu, add the menu file for us, and we click on OK. So it will come up with an MPT since we didn't have any XML code here. You can switch to post code and design part. So this is our option menu XML. Inside this layout or XML menu XML, we just create a list of items that we want to be appear in our app bar. So let's have about 2 or 3 items so that we will display those items in our app bar. So we'll continue the item, and let's give it the name of our item to, before we get that one, to Android, and let's title, maybe this one to setting. And before that, let's close this one, and Another attribute that here we want to set, let's say the ID setting. And also we can give an order, but we will just continue with this one for our other items. And here you can see we do have 3 items, right? List of 3 items. Let's change the name and ID here. Let's name it this one to, maybe we can configure with something favorite. And we can name it to this one to fav or something like that. And also we can set this one to mic. And the ID to mic. There are 3 items found in our this option list, and we can also set the icon for these items. We can set that one with, maybe we can set the icon for the mic here. So to do that, just type the attribute of icon, and you can specify the icon where by default there are a bunch of icons found in our Android, and we can do that by clicking on Android. So inside our Android attributes, we do have a bunch of icons, so drawable, and we have this about camera, dark frame, and related things. So I think there is an icon for something speaker. Let's see what it looks like. And also this one will not appear inside our option list, so that we can set the as an action, so it will appear in the very top of our action bar. So we can set that one to show action, and we can set that one to always make. Now you can see we said that this speaker phone icon will be appeared in our action bar here. Since we set the action bar to always, so the name will not be appeared there. The icon will be appeared inside this option list. This is our app bar. So once we done this, we can also give the order here. To set the order, we can use something called ordering category. So we can set maybe about 10, and we can give an order for this one. Order activity, we can set something 7. So very small amount. If you give the small amount of this order category, it will be set at the very top here. The order is setting comes first, but the order category of setting is 10, so it's large number, and this one comes first than this setting item. So you can give this ordering category attribute if you want. If you don't, you can just continue with the default order while we written here. Okay, once we done, I think we can change this one to, I think there is icon called speaker. Yeah, this one. Since yeah. Now you can see the mic icon will be appearing in the app bar. So once we are done with creating this option menu layout, the next thing to do is we go to our main activity and inflate this option menu to our activity, and then we will implement the on-click attribute for each option menu. So we'll continue with this, and to implement the on-create option menu, to inflate those menu in our activity, we will implement the method called on-create option menu. On-create option menu. So this is the method that we have to inflate our menu file that we created in the menu resource file. So to inside this file, that we have to do is to inflate our menu what we have in here. So let's continue with there is a way to get the menu inflator by call get menu inflator, and we just call the method again inflate, and we pass the menu what we have in our resource folder. So r.menu. option menu, and we pass the object of menu called menu. Here we passed here. So once we are done with this, instead of passing this superlative thing, we just pass here too. So now our option menu will appear inside our app. So let's run it and check. It may take a little bit long time, maybe. It's already done. So here you can see there is an option menu inside our top up bar here. So here you can see we do have a mic icon here. So here we set it that one at the to set and show action attribute to always, so it will appear at the very top of our app bar, and the name will not be appeared there. Instead, the icon we set it will be appeared. And also here you can see you have an option list here. So we set the option of favorites and settings. Because of it, the order we set small number, that one favorites will be our first order, the priority. So now we do have these two option menu. And to implement on click for this option menu, we need to implement the method called on click on option menu item select. So let's continue with that one on option menu item selected. So once to identify which menu were selected, so we instead of I always use the switch case statement here to identify which menu were clicked. So to do that, just try to switch and pass the item that we have and get item ID. So once we get the item ID, we can use case statement here, and we also this one, the error here found is because we didn't say the we had the data type of this method is boolean, so we have to return type of something. Let's say return true. Once we have done return true. So here we didn't say the statement, so let's go on by something. Oh, I type it this one outside the loop. So, okay. So here we can say sorry. We can say we can get the specific ID of those each menu list. So we use case, and first case is r.id.the setting, right? We set the setting. If the user were clicked on setting item, we can post some message. Also, you can define your own method inside too. But I just for our sample, I just to try to post some message. So post make text, and you can pass the context. I use this. Also, you can use get application context too. Suppose we are okay, and I can name the message to be toasted. So you click it, setting, and once this message will toast for a time of short and show. So this will appear, and don't forget to write the break when this one will be done. And I'll copy paste this one to the other two items. And instead, I will pass the ID of what we have favorites, right? File. And this one, what we have, I think, mic, right? Yeah. And you clicked on favorites. And you clicked on microphone. Yeah, I think it's done. So now we can see whether it's working or not. Oh, we need to restart because I changed some code in our Java file. Okay, let's click on one of these item list. So when you click on favorites, here we have a toast message, you click favorites, and let's click on the mic, and you clicked microphone. And also you can go for the setting, and you clicked on settings. So you can do your own method inside this, and you can call some method that you implemented in another place. You call that specific method, and you can do whatever you want. I just try to show you how you can implement this on-click attribute for this each item list. Okay, so let's continue with the other part of yesterday's, what we called context menu. So contextual menu is also the menu list that will appear in your app, but this one can go with some view. So instead of like, we created another file and inflate that one with just separated, right? The option menu will be appear that separated view in our app, but contextual menu will appear with some view that we already have. So you can select the view to allow user to perform some action. So you can attach this contextual menu with that specific view, and also can be deployed on any view. And most often we use this one with recycler view and also like grid view and other. We will talk on recyclable view if you have enough time on our today's topic too. So this is an example of context menu. It will appear when you long press on your view, and there is something example here. You have a list of view here, and when you long press on one of these list view, there may be a context menu like edit or share or copy paste or something like that. So this is something we call it contextual menu, and the implementation is the same like we did for the option menu. We create an example menu resource file and assign each appearance of this menu and also the position where we want to be appear. And we can also, once we're done with this step, we go to register to which view we want to attach this specific layout. So we have to do that in our Java code. So register the view, which view we want to be registered for this specific context menu. Once we're done with this, the same step here we did in our option menu, we implement onCreate context menu. The one we did for the option menu is onCreate option menu. Here onCreate context menu inside our activity to inflate this specific menu with our activity. And once we're done with this, we continue with the implementation of the on context menu item selected. We then for the option menu, we then what? We then the on option menu item selected, right? So let me show you that here we done on item on option or item selected, and the difference is here. The difference is here on context menu item selected, and also the same way here we did for the option menu or on option menu on option context menu here on create the same way, we just name change here. So once we're done with this, we create a method to perform an action where each menu will click. So these are some of the steps in implementation. We create a resource file the same way. We already have a menu resource folder. So we created a menu context, the name of the file, and inside that one, we identify the menu, the item list, what we want to be appear in our view. Once we're done, we create onCreate context menu. So we want this onCreate context menu will help us to inflate the file we have. Before that, we have to register. Oh, this one, the second step is to register the view, which view we want to be attached with this context menu. So we may have a text view here. So inside our text view, we want to attach this context menu. So this is the second step. We register. We use this method, register for context menu, so that we'll attach this specific menu with this text view. So once we are done with this, the third step is to create create onCreate context menu, and inside this menu we will inflate our specific menu with our layout. Okay, once we're done, this is an optional way. So if you want, you can go and create on context item selected to handle when each item will click. So I will go in the same way to use the post message. Also, you can use your own method like edit node or share node, and if you already implemented this method inside your activity. Okay, we are already done with this, and let's continue with the implementation of this contextual menu. Okay, once the first step to continue with the contextual menu is to create a file of the file that contains these items for us. So we go and create the layout menu resource file. and let's name it the file for like edit, and we can continue context, and here let's play this code, and you can define our items inside here. So continue with the item, and we can name it the ID for our item. Let's say we have an ID of item 1, and we also ID for our item, and let's say copy, and don't forget to close that. Okay? And let's copy this one and about 3. Let's name this one to item, copy, and select. And we can name it this one to paste. So we do have about 3 item list here. So it will also appear at our option at our option menu in our app bar. So we can do that by registering this is each items with our view. So once we are ready with these specific items, the next step is to go with our main activity and continue with creating the view to attach this specific menu. So let's come over here, and this is the layout that we created yesterday, and also Simon will revise on this today on today's challenge. Sorry. Okay, let's continue from here. Now we can identify, we can put a text view, and we can just continue with the wrap content and close our pack. Instead of using this, we can use, and sorry. And here we can give the text for our title, maybe something menu. Since I'm using the relative layout, I have to set the below of the, or maybe radio button, right? Yeah. So now it will appear here, and I can see the margin and center horizontal to be through. Sorry, through, and also something maybe margin from top. Yep, and we can also see the size for our text. We have our 30. Yes, it will be wider, and below this menu title, we will continue to have another view, edit text, and we will set the width and height, the same content, and we want to be this text view to be appeared below our, let's say this ID2 title. I think we have already titled before, so let's set the title too. And let's make it this one below our ID title too. So now our text will appear below this menu title. And once we're done with this, we can also give the hint for our text view. We can just name something place perhaps to view we on text menu. It's a little bit long, but it's okay, I think. And also we can give the padding, maybe if I padding from top or something else. And I think from margin from top is also okay. Let's give it to any DP. So you can go with the padding. So you can set that one to about 30 DP. Will be like a little bit wider. So we can remove this one. And once we are done with this, let's give an ID for this one. We didn't set ID for this edit text. We can give it to edit and text. Okay, now we want to attach our context menu for inside our edit text. So when we long press into this edit text, our context menu will appear. So to do that, our second step is inside our main activity. The first step to do is to register our menu with our view. So what we have to do is the first thing, we get specific ID of our edit text. So we create a class of edit text, and we can say one. And once we're done with this, the second is we can continue. So we just find our edit text. So it's equals to find view by ID dot what we have there, edit text, right? So once we get that edit text from our view, we need to register for context menu. So register for, I think, register for context menu. I think, yeah, this one. Unregistered, not unregistered, is register for context menu. We pass this edit text so that our context menu will be registered here. So once we are done, the next and the final step is to implement the onCreate context menu method the same way like we did for onCreate option menu here. And inside this, we can continue with onCreate create context menu. Okay, so we can return. We don't need to return anything here since void. So instead, we just need to inflate our menu resource to our layout. So to do that, we just use the get menu with inflator dot inflate, and we pass our menu found in our menu folder. So id dot menu r dot menu dot id dot, and what the name we have inside our menu, edit text, right? Edit context menu, and we pass the menu object here. Then let's run it and see if we can get our this context menu which found in this, and to be appeared for inside our edit text box. Let's see. Okay, this is our edit text. So the context menu will have to appear here when we long press this view. So this is our edit text. So it will not appear when we just click on it. Instead, we have to long press on it. You can see now here we do have copy, paste, and copy, select, and paste. So these are the items where we selected inside the menu folder. So now we are done with this. So we can just click one of these option list, but it will not do anything for us since we didn't create the method called on context item selected. So let's do that now. So the next thing we have to do is on context item menu selected. So this is the method, and inside this method you can return through. So there are a bunch of steps. So here we just go the same way. So we can copy this code here, the switch and case code, and you can paste it here. So instead, we do have another ID called, or you name it copyright, and you click copy, and the next one is select, and you can say that one. You click on. And here we have paste, right? And paste, and you click on paste. It's all the same way what we did for our option menu. Let's kill this one and rerun it. And let's check, and let's click on copy. Here you can see you clicked on copy, and there are also the same way for select and paste. So this is the same. This is the way to implement option on contextual menu for our app. So also you can implement your own method inside this case statement. If you want to have a different, like if you want to copy that specific statement, also we need some bunch of code to do that. But I just try to show you this sample for practice, so you can go by yourself for different Java code to copy, paste, and select statement. Okay, so I think we need some maybe 5 minutes break, and we will continue with our today's topic. This is yesterday's topic, and we will continue with our today's topic of recycler view. I think this one is a little bit advanced. So this one also, this topic is not also compulsory to do the challenge on a recycler view. It's optional if you want, since it's a little bit advanced to understand. So after 5 minutes, we will get back to this our day 6 topic. Let's have a 5-minute break.